Hey, welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video. I am Wood. Today is day 31 of the budget versus free-to-play experiment. I started 2 accounts on the same day at the same time 31 days ago, and now we get to pull some shards. Let's check our progress too. In honor of the summon portal glowing red, we have a red border around my main account today. Let's go ahead and summon first on the main account, and then I'll get to the others. We'll get to the budget and the free-to-play after. I've got some primals on my main account. I also have 3 of these prism summons to do. So I'm pretty excited about the prism summons. Because I have 3, I'm hoping that gives us a little bit of a chance to get one of these legendaries. I only have 3 of these legendaries. I kind of wouldn't mind having a dupe. I've got Razelvarg, I've got Mashaled, and I've got Rhodos. And any of these other new ones would be great for my account. But I would even take dupes of Razelvarg and Rhodos at least. So let's get going. Let's do 3 prisms and see what we get. The epics are all just, if I need to +1 any epics. Another Gory. Got plenty of Gories. And another Phoenix. That'll be good. I'll be able to. I think my Phoenix is at +1 or 2 right now, so that'll be nice to be able to. And another epic. Another allure. Maybe I could +1 one. I have 2 allures built on the main account. Allure's one of my favorites. All right. Well. Too bad. It's gonna be okay. Let's go in and get. Okay, I have room. I don't like expanding my inventory. I hate it. I hate that they make us do it, and it costs so many gems or silver, either one. It just feels bad. So I really try not to expand it if I don't have to. I'm not gonna do a 10 pull. I saw a 10 pull earlier today of these primals, and it was all rares, and I just thought, oh, it just felt so bad. So I'm gonna do one at a time. I don't know if that helps at all, but I'm just gonna do one at a time. Oh man, we could get all rares. We could. Either way, it's going to be interesante. But let's see what we get. I'm just thinking it's gonna be all 13 rares, and I mean, that's as likely to happen as anything else with these primals. Feels bad, but this is the best chance that we have to do it, and we've got the Deck of Fate going on, and I think I'll still have enough resources on this account. Cult Brawler, great poisoner. I don't think I would +1 and a Cult Brawler. I don't think there'd be any reason to do that. Man, 1 epic. So far. Okay, 2 epics now. Hoscaril. I actually like Hoscaril. I've got two built. There's a few stages in Centranos where he works well, and he's a really good control champion. I may +1 one because I have 2 built, and so 2 in the Faction Guardians, so the 1 will just be extra. And I think I'd rather +1 one of the Hoscarils instead of using him as a chicken. So that'll be good. I'm looking on the bright side. Another epic. A Tarshan. I've never built a Tarshan before. I've heard he's cool. Yeah, I've never built one. Got 6 left. Oh, yeah. I know this is our best chance, but I'm not really expecting. But we've got a few epics, so that's okay, I guess. Grumbler. They just didn't want to call him Grumpy. Why? Why wouldn't they call? I guess maybe that would be a Disney thing. Would Disney come after him for that? I don't know. Copyright violation. Lammy Burr. 2 left. Oh. Another epic. That's good. That's not good. Balthus actually, Balthus has a kind of a sneaky good provoke. It's a 2-turn provoke but it's on a 4-turn cooldown. So it's kind of not any better than a 1-turn on a 3-turn cooldown, but anyway. Balthus was in the Pixneal fusion, if you remember. That was when I started playing the game, so for some reason I remember that Balthus was part of the Pixneal fusion, and he was the 1 epic that I couldn't do, and I was so excited about doing the Pixneal fusion. And then I found out she wasn't good. But for some reason, when I started playing, I really wanted to get Pixniel, and Balthus was the one I wasn't able to fuse. And so I had the other 3 done and ready to go, and I wasn't able to complete that fusion. And now I'm really glad that I didn't, because one of the other epics was actually really good. All right, one more. Let's see what it is. And I'll think of the name of the epic that was actually better than Pixniel, or at least more useful. Pounder. Okay, so we got a whole lot of not much help on that. All right, let's go to the free to play. We can go over a little bit of progress. There not much progress yesterday because we had the dragon tournament start with the 3 times speed. I decided to just start putting energy into that. We need more speed gear to make our Haikatoon better. One thing I didn't mention on Haikatoon, for some reason I failed to mention it, was Haikatoon's base speed. Do you see her base speed over here at 97? Okay, that is not her true base speed. Once she's 6-starred and ascended, her base speed goes to 105. And there's a few champions like that in the game that you have to watch out for, that some of their base stats change. 104. Okay, so she's 104. So you can see here Haikatoon's base speed when she's ascended and 6-starred is 104. So she gains 7 speed just by being 6-starred and ascended. There are situations where we, and really there are situations where we do more to get 7 speed on a champion. At the high end when you're really trying to get some speed built. So 6-starring Haikatoon really isn't a bad idea. You can get that 7 more speed to increase her base speed. And speed sets also, you'd get, I think, 1 more speed, probably, maybe half more speed or something like that, with her increase of 7 speed. So I think it's a good idea to 6-star Haikatoon if you don't have a better speed booster for your arena. So that's just the way I see it. And like I said, I actually use Haikatoon still on my endgame account. All right, so we only have 1 in the summon pool here for the free-to-play account. But almost any of these epics would kind of be game-changing for this free-to-play. So I'm just going to go ahead and let it rip. What do we have? Okay, it's an epic. Oh, and I knew it. She was the one I was least excited about. Okay, let's see what... That's really disappointing. Let's see what Lady Quillen does. Attacks on her A1, attacks 1 enemy, fills this champion's turn meter by 15% if this attack is critical. So she gets a little turn meter fill on a critical hit. Attacks 1 enemy, places an extra hit if this attack is critical. Fills the turn meters of all allies by 30% if this attack kills an enemy. So I hope she hits hard. I've never built one. I've heard she hits hard, but Her ascended skill on her A3 attacks all enemies, places a 30% increased crit damage buff on all allies for 2 turns, also places a 50% increased attack buff on all allies for 2 turns if this attack is critical. Yeah, for some reason I'm not that excited about her. Even if she hits hard, it's not that much help for the free-to-play account here today. So that's not good. All right, so we have 2 primals. It would be great to get a mythical. We have a 1% chance of getting a mythical, a 2% chance of getting a legendary, and I can't remember what the epic chance is. 32% chance. Sorry, I was looking down at the signature. 32% chance of getting an epic and 65% chance of getting a rare. The problem is, with 2 of these, it's very likely that we will just get 2 rares and really have not much help at all for our free-to-play account. 1 rare. Oh, this guy's actually good. The Bowsmith Flannan. For a rare, he's pretty decent. I think he has an AoE decreased speed. Yeah, he does. Attacks all enemies, 75% chance of placing a 15% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns. And with the new blessing that just came out, gives you a chance of placing the greater version. He would actually be good with that blessing if we could put that on him. Places a 25% increased accuracy on all allies for 2 turns, then teams up with a random ally to attack a target enemy. So he's got a little ally attack and AoE decreased speed And then he's got a chance at a stun on his A1, which is really good too for a rare. So yeah, he's actually going to be pretty useful early game here. Just he's not a mythical or a legendary. Let's see what we get on the next one. There's so much, and oh no, no way. Oh, we got a Frolny. Okay, so Frolny's actually good, and I love dwarves. I can't believe we got a mythical on the free-to-play. This is amazing. That's great luck. That was a 1% chance. You just witnessed a 1% chance happening. That's awesome. Okay, Frolny, I have him on, okay, he's the only mythical other than Lady Mikage that I fused that I have on my main account. So I do know this, I know this champion. He hits hard. And for progression through the early game, I think he just became my nuker for the early game. He only, let's see, he has this AoE on his base form. He's HP based, so he's easy to keep alive. Yeah, and he can steal two buffs from the enemy. And this can't be resisted, so you don't have to build him with any accuracy. He has good base stats. Attacks one enemy, ignores 5% of the defense for each buff on this champion. So if you can put a lot of buffs on him, he ignores a lot of defense. His passive, this champion's crit damage is increased by 1% for every 1,000 HP that they have. So if you have a lot of HP on him, he really ramps up his crit damage. He's not considered one of the best of the mythicals, but he's good for a mythical. I mean, it's not like he's horrible or anything. And then his other form is kind of a protection form. His passive on the protection is, when attacked, reflects 80% of the damage of this champion receives back to the attacker. Debuffs placed on this champion decrease their producer's accuracy by 10%, stacks up to 50%. So if he gets a debuff put on him, it decreases the attacker's accuracy. You know, and maybe that helps to keep the rest of your team alive. Let's see, his A3 in his second form places 50% ally protection buff on all allies except this champion for 2 turns. Also places unkillable buff on this champion for 2 turns. Then places a shield buff for 2 turns on all allies with less than 50% HP. The value of the shield is proportional to this champion's defense. So you want to build him with both. So for his base form, you want to build him with high HP. With this form, you want to build him with really high defense. It's difficult to do, but because he does damage based on both of those skills, you know, you have to try and stack as much as you can of both. Attacks one enemy on his A2. He attacks one enemy, heals this champion by 50% of their max HP, balances the HP of all allies. The HP levels of all allies will be brought up to the level of the ally with the highest HP. So this is the cool thing about Frolny. In Arena, we can use him in his base form mostly to nuke down the enemy. In Clan Boss, we can use him in this form to help our team survive longer. And I think that's probably a good strategy to use. And then on his A1, he attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit increases this champion's defense by 5%, stacks up to 100%. So in a long fight, he just keeps ramping up his defense more and more and more, up to 100% of his defense. And he does have pretty good base stats. We're not going to look at him here, but that's really exciting. Can't believe got a mythical on the free to play. Great news. After some disappointment, that's some great. And actually, you know, the rare that we pulled is actually useful also for the free to play. So that's a good day for the free to play. I'm pretty happy about that. All right, let's go into the budget account. Suffice it to say, we have two prism summons. One of them was from the Dungeon Divers that we were able to complete last night. Wasn't able to do it with the free to play, so that was kind of disappointing. But let's see what we get from the summon pool. Man, the two that I thought these aren't going to help us very much was Lady Quillen and Seas. I think Seas actually to me is a little more interesting than Lady Quillen, but let's see what we got with the prisms. 2 of them. So we'll have 2 prisms and 2 primals to pull on the budget account. Oh, we got You have got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. What are... I'm not saying, I'm not going to say another word about it. That's just... Okay, that's good. Okay, we got a lure on the budget. We have solved Fire Knight now. Well, kind of. Still have to build her, but yeah, we've kind of solved Fire Knight. If you don't know about Allure, and you've been living under a rock, Allure is one of my favorites. Like I said before, her A1 is the main thing is with her A1. Attacks 3 times at random, decreases the target's turn meter by 25% on each critical hit. So if you can get her to crit, she decreases by 25% on each hit, that's a 75%. If you've got her with high crit rate and we're not facing force affinity, she's reducing turn meter by 75% every time she does her A1 on the Fire Knight. In waves, this isn't as good because she does random hits, and you can't really use it in Spider either. But she does have, this is actually kind of a cool skill too. Attacks all enemies, her A2. Attacks all enemies 2 times each hit, has a 30% chance of placing a 30% decreased defense for 1 turn. So it's the small decreased defense. Places a sleep debuff for 1 turn on targets under decreased defense debuffs. So if she successfully places the decreased defense, then she also places sleep. But I have used her in the past in conjunction with another decreased defense champion, let's say somebody who's a little more reliable on their decreased defense. And then when she does this skill, it puts everybody to sleep. And so that can be a little bit useful sometimes for certain things. I actually use that for Dark Fae with my Allure. And then her A3 actually hits kind of hard if you've got her with crit rate. The problem with Allure, you have to build her with a lot of stats. So she has to be going really fast, and she has to have 100% crit rate, and she has to have the accuracy that you need. So it's a little bit difficult to build her with damage along with all that, especially early game. But she attacks 1 enemy, has a extra 30% chance of inflicting a critical hit, will ignore 50% of the target's defense. So if you've got her built for some damage, there's a strategy with Allure that you can build her for scare boss. In a destroy set, you can build her with some damage. As long as you can get all the other stats that you need, you can put her in a destroy set, and then she can help work the scare boss's shield down faster. So that is a strategy for Allure. And she just looks cool too. One of my favorites. Okay. That's actually good. I couldn't believe we got Lady Quillen on. Now we have Lady Quillen on both accounts. And we have two primals to summon. There can't be, there's no way we could get a mythical on this account too, along with the free to play, right? No way. Let's see what we get. Okay, down to earth. That brings us back down to earth. Got a Valerie, farmable rare. That's a frustrating thing with these primals. They're not that plentiful in the game where they should be giving us a lot of rares, but it's the nature of what we have to deal with. Oh, at least we got an epic. Hey, it's a Kinegashi. Okay, Kinegashi is a reviver in the Shadowkin. Wow, we've got good Shadowkin support. So on this account now we have a Taragi for protection. We have a Kinegashi, and she actually has a little ally attack also on her kit, which is good. And then she has a revive, and we also have Fenchi. So we're doing pretty well on Shadowkin on this one. It's kind of funny how these accounts work sometimes, where you pick up, one of your factions is just stronger right away, and then you struggle on some other ones, but that's just how it is early game. Just depends on the luck that you have. As far as progress goes, we haven't really done a lot of progress. I am not going to open my daily login rewards that you can see here, because I know that underneath that on day 31 is 500 energy. And so we're going to wait to open that until I'm ready to use it. And we'll probably just keep farming Dragon. Dragon has been... Oh, and then we've got 200 energy here also. I think that goes into the inbox, but I'm not 100% certain. I think it does. Let me look. The 200 from yesterday should be in there. It's 300. Yeah, the 300 from yesterday is in there. So it's safe to open this on this gift that they gave us. And that was nice. That was a nice thing. So we had one extra primal shard to open because of that gift that we received. We'll have a mythical tome on both accounts, and we'll actually be able to use it on the free-to-play account. So there you go. There's another example of where being free to play, sometimes the luck that you have can sort of outweigh some of the spending. I don't think it's gonna. I think we're tomorrow I'm probably going to do daily gem pack on this account on the budget, and I'm going to do probably also the Forge Pass. I know a lot of people don't like the Instinct set on the Forge Pass, but I actually think it's a good set, and I think it's worth going for. And so that's going to be part of our budget for tomorrow. And then it's just going to depend on whatever else I look at. But I think those two things are the most efficient use of a budget in this game, if anything can be considered efficient in this game. Yeah, so excited about that. We have our Haikatoon is the fastest champion on our account, and like I said, she's going to be 7 speed faster if we 6-star her. I still don't think that that's probably what we're going to do yet, but it's a possibility. I think it's a possibility. I actually think it's not the worst idea in the world to 6-star Haikatoon, because she can also help us in Clan Boss. If we have enough protection, she can keep us going fast. She can maybe put us into a speed tune that we wouldn't have been able to do without her turn meter boosting and her increased speed. And so we may have to book her if we do something like that also. But I'm going to look at it. I'm not dismissing it. We're now, so on Clan Boss we're 1 keying normal and 2 keying hard now on both accounts. I think I mentioned the greenish blue border around the free to play, right? Didn't I? I don't remember. I had a red border around the main account, and just to differentiate, I have the greenish blue border around the free to play. I totally forgot to do it yesterday in the video I did yesterday. But yeah, this can be claimed without any worry. Yeah, the 200 energy just goes right into the inbox here, so we can use that whenever we want. It's nice too, because sometimes when they give us these gifts, they make you use it within 6 days or something like that. And sometimes you want to hold on to it for fusion. The other thing, the fusion that's coming out next week, and I apologize, I don't remember her name right off the top of my head. She had a cool name. I can't remember. It's the something, like it's a title. I can't remember. Okay, you'll probably know what it is. But the fusion that's coming out next week, she's a protection champion, and she works really well with Arbiter. And as I went over her kit, she doesn't do anything really unique, and I'm sure the things that she does well. But we've already got a Taragi on both of these accounts. I'm probably going to skip this fusion even for this early. And I think we could probably do it. By next week, we'll probably have enough resources built up on both of these accounts that I think we could probably do it on both of them. But I'm not excited about it. So I think we'll just skip it. You have to put so many resources into a fusion like this because it's going to be a hybrid fusion where you collect fragments for the epics, and we don't know what the epics are going to be, if it's going to be 4 copies of the same epic or 4 different new epics. We don't know yet. But I did it. I can't believe I did it. I opened a red dot. Okay, well, we're going to start using some energy. All right. So we're farming Dragon 13. Dragon 13 is the first stage that gives you a chance at getting 6-star gear. It's not a good chance. In fact, I don't even know if I've picked up any 6-star. I know there hasn't been any helpful 6-star. But I don't even think that we picked up any 6-star at all. But that's the progress that we've made. Man, I'm excited to have a Frolny. He's a mythical. He's actually good. People late game that are getting mythicals regularly, he's one of not the ones people get excited about. But he does hit hard. Like he really does hit hard, and he's best in a long fight. The problem is there's not a lot of long fights where, there's not a lot of long fights in this game. Ideally, you have Hydra, but he's not that special for Hydra. He doesn't do a lot of the debuffing and stuff that you need to do in Hydra. And protecting your team, there's a lot of champions that do that and do other things for Hydra. So I haven't really seen anybody use him in Hydra. I haven't tried him there. I have tried him in Live Arena a little bit, and once in a while he gets a shot, but his hits, they get harder over time, through the fight. And I can't remember if they reset each round. So maybe Doom Tower is a place where we could use him, and that maybe he ramps up over time. Maybe some Doom Tower bosses. I'll explore early game Frolny, what we're gonna do on an early game free to play account. But it's exciting. They gave us a mythical tome. Maybe we'll be able to put a book into him next in a few days for Clan versus Clan tournament. So yeah, that's exciting. I'm excited about that. I told you it would be interesante, didn't I? That's the update for today. I think that's all we're going to worry about. I'm just going to keep farming Dragon until we get to the top reward. I think that's going to give us a chance to at least get some more speed gear to put on our Haikatoon, make ourselves a little faster, and then hopefully we'll be able to just keep making some progress. Start building the Frolny to make Frolny our nuker early game here on the free to play. So happy about that. Lady Quillen on both. That's just, yeah. Can't believe Lady Quillen on both. and out of all of the great epics in that summon pool, I got a Lady Quillen on both, and we got a useful epic out of both also. So that's good. The problem I've had lately, I'm playing all three accounts at the same time, and I was collecting. I've been doing Dragon on my main account too, and it was so weird. I went in and had all these pieces of gear on the screen, and I was going through and selling most of them, and I saw a piece of gear. I thought, ooh, that's a nice piece of gear. It was like a 5-star rare or something. Just not something I would keep on my main account. But I was in the mindset of these early game, free to play and budget accounts, and I just, for some reason, I thought, ooh, that's a good piece of gear. And then I stopped myself. I was like, what are you doing? You can't keep gear like that. So that was kind of funny. But yeah, I just have to keep reminding myself, okay, this is your main account. This is the free to play. And then I'm tempted to sell things sometimes on the free to play that actually might be good early game. So I have to be really vigilant about which pieces of gear I'm keeping. So there's our Lady Quillen. So we have a Lady Quillen there. Let's go over to the budget account. Yeah, you can see we can two key hard now. I've been trying to put keys into Brutal, and I did collect a chest the other day on Brutal, so that's nice too. We're not there yet on Clan Boss, but we're getting close. Getting books into Fenchi and also getting some, just more progress into him. That's going to be helpful. But I'm so excited to have an allure, and this Kinagashi is going to be big also. I know we had a Grinner on one of them, but revivers are useful. It's nice to have a reviver. So Kinagashi and allure is huge, and then Lady Quillen here, both accounts. Out of all the great epics in that summon pool, and the one that I mentioned is one I wasn't excited about, and got her on both. I think it almost feels intentional. I know it's not, but it almost feels intentional. We've also been making some good progress in Doom Tower, although I am stuck on this floor. This floor has a Siphi, a pretty hard-hitting Soulless. For what we have seen so far on normal Doom Tower, this floor has a pretty hard-hitting Soulless, and also a couple of Soul Drinkers, and they have an attack that puts bombs on, and then they also put bombs on when they die, so you have to try and kill them last. But the problem with killing them last is they'll put their bombs on you beforehand. So we've got some work to do to get past this floor 36 on the budget. We're kind of in the same place on the free to play as well, kind of stuck in the same place. But we can farm Griffin, and so that's good. We could go down lower and farm, Scarab or Bommel also. And then we're pretty close on these other two the 2 secret rooms that we haven't been able to complete. Actually, just the one on the budget. There's two secret rooms we have not been able to complete on the free-to-play, and then there's just this one on the budget. And I actually think that we can do this one. We just have to make a little bit more progress with some of our gear. And now we've got the Kinagashi that can help out with this one also. So, like, you know, we could put a team together kind of like this maybe, or I could start building an Armiger, you know, and put some gear on him or something like that. So yeah, we can put a team together for this. It's just we've got to make a little bit more progress before it's going to work. But yeah, it's exciting. Did I say that already? That's all I have for today. I'll get to work on building some new champions, and I'll kind of reshift my thinking as far as priority goes. Let me know in the comments what you got on your shard pulls, if you did any prism shards or if you did any of your primals. Let me know what you think my priority should be on the account. Should I go for a lure on the budget where I can maybe use her for Fire Knight and make some progress there? Because we need regen gear. That's kind of one of the things that we need now is some regen gear, and we need to start thinking about Savage. We need to start thinking about Savage gear and ignoring some more defense. Also, let me know what you think as far as, you know, should we just go right to move Frolny to the front of the line, even though he's a damage dealer and we've already got our Ethel built for damage? Do we just leave her off and then slot him into our clan boss and into arena? Would that be the smart thing to do, or do you think that I ought to prioritize some other things first? And, you know, maybe I don't know who would go ahead of him. Yeah, I can't think of putting anybody ahead of him, actually. Yeah, I think that's the play. I think we go for Frolny. Okay, so my priority is going to be Allure on the budget, Frolny on the free to play. Let me know what you think of that strategy. If you have an opinion about it, I'd love to hear it. Please explain your reasoning. You know, I'd like to hear a logical argument as to why you think it's the right thing to do, or why you think it might be not a smart thing to do and I should go with somebody else instead. Thank you for watching. I'm grateful to every single person, especially you, if I'm talking to you, and looking forward to the next 11 months that I've committed to doing this experiment. I think it's going to be interesante. I do. A little Spanish lingo there for you. I've been Wood, and I appreciate you.